Ted Cruz has taken the stage at that event in Illinois. His national spokesman joins me now, Ron Nehring, national spokesman for the Ted Cruz campaign. Ron, thanks for being with me, sir. Your candidate today, rather tongue-in-cheek, said that if Trump is the nominee, he would only lose his support if he shot someone, echoing, of course, that comment that Trump made about the strength of his campaign a few weeks ago. Given the rhetoric, given the violence that we have seen play out on our screens over the past few days, how is it that Ted Cruz can still stand behind Donald Trump?
Well, Ted Cruz is not standing behind Donald Trump because Donald Trump is not going to be the nominee of the Republican Party. Look, we're engaged in a state-by-state competition here. We're active. We have 5 different events going on in Illinois today. We're competitive in all of the states which are coming up, and we intend to be the Republican nominee. So that's going to solve that problem when Donald Trump is no longer in that position. And the sooner we get to this one-on-one contest, which is going to be even more evident after tomorrow night's results, the sooner that is going to get accomplished. Look. And one thing that I think is clear is that clearly there's a difference in terms of the standards that each of the candidates set, and Ted Cruz has been adamant about setting a high standard for himself and for the Republican Party, and that's what you'll see from him, nominee.
Ron, I want to play a snippet of what Ted Cruz said yesterday on Meet the Press to Chuck. Take a listen.
Barack Obama is a world-class demagogue. You're unwilling to be commander-in-chief and keep us safe, so don't engage in attacking the people like the president did. I'll tell you, that language is the kind of self-righteous moralizing from the president that makes people angry.
You think that's worse than what Donald Trump? You think that's worse than what Donald Trump's been doing?
To be honest, I think it's very much the same.
Ron, Ted Cruz seems angrier about President Obama than he does about Donald Trump's rhetoric and the violence that we've seen play out at his rallies. Doesn't Donald Trump bear the lion's share of the responsibility of what we've seen?
Look, I think if you look at these events, it's clear that these left-wing protesters are going to show up wherever there's a bunch of cameras. And when Ted Cruz is the Republican nominee, those protesters are going to show up and protest Ted Cruz as well. That's nothing new. What will be different, though, however, is when Ted Cruz is the Republican nominee, he's going to set that higher standard. And he's demonstrated that over and over and over again. He's challenged Donald Trump, but he's kept the challenges to policy and substance and the like, and worked on having the focus there. As for the White House, I saw the comments from Josh Earnest just a couple of minutes ago, where from the podium in the press office there, he's engaging in politicking over at the White House. That's not appropriate. Those comments should be saved for somebody at the Democratic National Committee or from the Sanders campaign or the Clinton campaign, not campaigning from the White House. That was inappropriate.
Ron, I think a lot of folks would also say it's inappropriate that we have not seen some of the so-called establishment Republicans in this country, or even some of the candidates themselves, not forcefully denounce what have a lot of folks really worried about, what we've seen at some of these rallies. So I wish we, and I do hope you'll come back on. Cruz campaign spokesman Ron Nehring. Ron, thank you so much.
You bet.